Pimpin' Howie Roseman isn't done yet, and the Cowboys are just going to have to accept the fact that he's going to be showing them all off season that his pimp hand is strong. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and Big Pimpin' Howie Roseman's pimp hand is strong. Just as the Cowboys, they have been slapped around all off season. As far as I'm concerned, he is the best GM in the National Football League. He might not do everything right. He has his weaknesses, but there's not a better GM that I would want that's out there right now. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Okay? Not just because I know he ain't done yet and there are more moves to come, but Howie Roseman, he's the best GM there is. It's just the way it is. Big Pimpin' Howie Vision. Now, before we get into all of it, there's reports that the NFL schedule will actually be released next week. There are a lot of talks that it was going to be May 9th. It looks like that's not the case. Adam Schefter posted this. NFL teams were informed today that the regular season schedule is expected to be released next Wednesday, May 15th, as at Ben Fisher, SBJ, reported. So, schedule will come out next Wednesday. We will be covering that. Should be really interesting. The Eagles, we know, are playing in Brazil on a Friday on Peacock. That's their home opener against Green Bay, which I just hate that schedule. Hate it. But I'm hoping with the fact that we're playing in Brazil week 1, this will get us off the hook on Christmas Eve, on Thanksgiving, on Christmas Day. Although there are some rumors out there that the Eagles could be playing the Ravens on Christmas Day, which would just prove to you that the NFL hates Eagle fans, that they actually hate us. They want us to have to watch games on Friday. They want to have us have to watch games or do games or go to games on Christmas Day. They just won't give us a dang break, man. It's just the way it is, okay? So, we'll see. But should be interesting. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is what Kenneth Gainwell said, okay? Kenneth Gainwell went on I guess a podcast, and they asked him about what happened last year. And his response was interesting, yet kind of confusing as far as I'm concerned. Eagles Nation wrote this. Kenny Gainwell on the Pound Eagles collapse last year. Quote, I think it was a connection piece. Teams like Kansas City are well connected upstairs and downstairs. Front office and locker room. When you have a connection, everything just clicks. But when you got guys that aren't talking to each other, you never know what's going on.
You know, you got guys that's not talking to each other, then, you know, you never know what's going on, you know.
So he's essentially saying there was no communication there. What, the front office weren't talking to the coaching staff? What, the players weren't talking amongst each others? You know that there was something. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this. I really don't, because the fact of the matter that season's over. But there are questions that remain. Hell, I still have questions that remain about the Carson Wentz situation. But I really wonder, like what Kenneth Gainwell said to me, it actually, now I have more questions than I did before. And I really wonder if Hassan Reddick got moved because of something having to do with this. It just seems like it's the only... Uh-oh. Jacob Media wants me to come on. Mark Holmes wants some more. Apparently Mark Holmes wants some more of a beating. A more double moonwalk his ass. I just got a text. All right, you want me to come on? I'll go on. I'll double moonwalk Mark Holmes' ass again. Look for that this afternoon, guys. I'm going to have to go put Mark Holmes. He's going crazy anyways, you know. He's going to be all happy. What are they talking? Who are they talking to? Zay Jones? Is that who they're talking to? Bringing him in as a receiver? Oh, if they get him, Dallas will have the best wide receiver core ever. Mark Holmes, a fan of the Dak Cowboys. Let's face it. He's a Dak Prescott fan more than a Dallas Cowboy fan. But they want me to go on. Fine, I'll go on. Anyways, I'm sorry I got distracted by the text. But as I was saying, I have more questions now about what happened last year, but at the same time, I just want to move forward. I hope that whatever was the problem and whatever the issues were, I hope they're resolved. I really, really do. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Now, as far as Howie Roseman goes, I gotta say this. I was sitting there, and this comes from a totally selfish point of view. But I'm like, dude, let's give this dude a lifetime contract. Just give him a lifetime contract. You can always have somebody else do the draft, but let me tell you something. As a guy that comes on and makes Eagles videos, it is so much easier during the offseason when you have a guy like Howie Roseman out there who makes moves every year, even if we don't have a lot of money. You know that they're going to make moves. They're going to do things. It is never boring. Can you imagine being like Mark Holmes, where your team does nothing, and literally the only thing you have to talk about is a 200-year-old house that you just did something to? So you was, we put this new shutter up, and we're gonna paint it, and this is what we're gonna use, and we're gonna do it like this, like the Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off, all that crap. It's like nothing to talk about. I watched the guy do a video yesterday, and there was literally 45 seconds of silence where he just sat there complaining about people emailing him. I don't know. But all I'm saying is we are lucky to have Howie Roseman. Now, he ain't perfect, okay? He has to do better in certain areas like the draft, okay? And I hope and I think and I believe he has done that in the last 3 years. But we really need to hit on this draft class. But I think right now, the Eagles have literally the best GM in football. They do. The best GM in football, because he's going to go out, he's going to make moves, and he's going to try to improve the team. I can tell you this right now. If we go into the regular season, whatever flaw, whatever need that we're going to need before the trade deadline, he is going to do everything in his power to go out there and make it happen. He just is. You don't have to worry about it. If sometimes it might not work out, sometimes nothing will happen, but he's going to try. I can't say that about every other team in the National Football League, okay? And I really wonder, with the whole Cooper DeJean thing, I wonder if Big Pimp and Howie Roseman is going to make a move for safety. And the reason I say this is this. If the Eagles are truly going to get the Flying Frenchman, right, you could get his shirt, link is in the description, but if Big Pimp is really going to get Cooper DeJean and they're going to play him on the outside, then I have to wonder, who's the other safety going to be? Now, a lot of people like Reed Blankenship, and they think he's really, really good, and he's going to be amazing, and he's going to be, and maybe he will. I hope so. But to me, I think he's a very good player, like in terms of depth, backup guy. He can start, he can play games if you need. But if you really want to improve it, you got to wonder if a guy like Justin Simmons still doesn't come to the Eagles, especially with, the amount of a relationship he had with Vic Fangio. I wonder if they'll still go out and get him or pursue him. If you're going to take Cooper DeJean and make him an outside corner, to me, you're essentially saying, we'll see you next season, Cooper DeJean. So, what are you going to do at safety? You have Reed Blankenship, you have C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Sidney Brown's coming back, but he's coming back from an injury. I don't know to what level he will be at right away coming back from an injury. Probably going to take him a while. All right, so to me, I think that you have to look at two positions where the Eagles are still going to try to get better. Okay, well, I'll say three. Okay, I think there are still three areas where they can look to improve. Two of them could happen before the regular season. One of them, I think, would be a trade deadline situation. I think one, slot wide receiver, although I think Ainias Smith is going to end up winning that job. And some people think we're perfectly good at receiver. I don't trust Devontae Parker anymore. I think he's old. And I don't know about Paris Campbell. I really don't know what we'll get out of him. So Ainias Smith, wide receiver. The Eagles could be in a situation where they might say, hey, you know what? We still need another slot wide receiver. Maybe they go into preseason and training camp. They realize they need one, and they can make a move. That position, I could see totally the Eagles still making a move before training camp even starts. The other one is safety. Like I said, if Justin Simmons comes down in price, he has not found a place. He's going to wait it out. And he's going to wait it out until you get into the training camp. And then he's going to see if a team needs a safety, if somebody gets hurt. That's what he's probably looking to do. But if the Eagles decide, well, Cooper DeJean's playing, he's going to play outside cornerback this year. He'll probably be on the bench. And the Eagles decide we need another safety, or Justin Simmons wants to come there and it's just an upgrade. And listen, you get Justin Simmons and you had him and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You got two really, really good safeties, okay? And then you have a really good depth guy in Reed Blankenship, and then we'll see what you get from Sidney Brown. But I could definitely see Howie Roseman getting a safety if that's the case. Now, I got to say this. I don't believe that Cooper DeJean is playing outside. I know that's where the reports and we're hearing, but I don't believe it's going to happen. I believe at the end of the day, he'll be inside starting at safety somewhere like that. Safety or slot, somewhere like that. They're going to find a way to get him on the field. But if they don't, and they just put him on the outside and want him to learn, then he falls behind, Mitchell and Ringo? So you might not see much of him. Justin, if you go out and you get like a Simmons and you bring him in at safety, that could be another move. So receiver and safety are two positions I see the Eagles could try to upgrade before training camp. The position I think they wait towards the trade deadline would be an edge rusher. They're going to give Nolan Smith, they're going to give Bryce Huff, they're going to give those guys an opportunity to play. But if they're struggling going into the trade deadline, they're not producing what we need them to produce, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the Eagles look to make a trade deadline deal for an outside guy. I mean, you got a guy like, and I feel like every year we talk about Yannick Ngakoue, but he's a guy that he's out there that could come in and rotate and help with the pass rush. But those are the three positions I think we'll see something. Two of those I think at camp. One of those I think would be at the trade deadline. But time will tell. Either way, as far as I'm concerned, as for selfish reasons, I think Howie Roseman, best GM in football. Give the man a lifetime contract as a GM because he's always going to keep us entertained. If you have to add somebody that'll come in and help with the draft, so be it. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Dallas still stinks.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.
Dude, what the fuck?
The Cooper! The flying
Oh my
Frenchman!
god. Oh my god.
C'est bon!
C'est
bon! I'm dizzy. We did it. We transformed the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. We now have a secondary that is going to be good for years to come. Because one, we got Quinyon Mitchell, but we also got the flying Frenchman, Cooper DeJean. That's right. The flying Frenchman, Cooper DeJean. C'est bon. Oh, here's another interception. That's right. Cooper DeJean is about to dominate the NFL. Can't wait to see him out on the field. And if you're like me and you thought this was a great move by the Eagles and you support this pick, then you definitely want to check out this shirt. The Cooper DeJean Flying Frenchman shirt. Look at this thing. You can see him in midair, flying through the air, transforming to an eagle. That's right. Cooper DeJean is here. Link is in the description. Get your shirt now while you can, because Cooper DeJean is about to take the Eagles to another level. Denzel Washington out.